Scandalous splits, Russell Simmons and Kimora Lee's explosive marriage unveiled. Russell Simmons, who is well known for playing a vital role in launching the careers of big musicians for Def Jam Recordings, has been confronted with substantial hurdles in the midst of a number of issues that have been criticized. Disturbing allegations of violence and sexual assault, as well as a rocky divorce from Kimora Lee Simmons, are among these charges. Simmons was the subject of many allegations of sexual assault in 2017, which he adamantly denied, yet he found himself at the center of these allegations. These scandals have cast a shadow over his professional successes, and the resurrection of his romantic history has attracted increased attention to the charges. Despite the fact that he has made significant contributions to the music industry, these problems have clouded his professional abilities. During the time when he was angrily refuting the allegations, Russell admitted to having a very diverse romantic history. He stated in a recent interview that he had slept with thousands of women on multiple occasions. After being one of the co-founders of the record label in 1984, the entrepreneur, who is now 66 years old, rose to popularity in the music industry. However, as he rose to prominence, he earned a reputation for being an avid womanizer. Kimora did not let Russell's image as a bad boy prevent her from meeting him when she was a 17-year-old starry-eyed rising model. This was in spite of the fact that her friends advised her to avoid the 35-year-old music entrepreneur. All of a sudden, she was completely smitten with the music executive. It was a horrible beginning to their scandalous affair, which began when she was still a high school student and he was 18 years her senior. Russell's provocative attitude plus the enormous age difference between the two made for a bad beginning. There were a number of issues that plagued the early phases of the relationship between Kimora Lee and Russell Simmons. These issues included Russell's recurrent infidelity and his apparent reluctance to commit. The turning point occurred when Kimora, who was fed up with Russell's unfaithfulness, threatened to terminate the relationship for good. This occurred despite the fact that there were challenges. By the time she walked in on him making out with another lady at a New Year's Eve party, she had reached the point where she could no longer ignore this ultimatum. Russell made a commitment to alter his behavior when he was confronted with the possibility of losing Kimora, who was one of the co-founders of Def Jam Records. In an unexpected turn of events, Kimora demanded that Russell demonstrate his commitment to her by either marrying her or risking losing her till the end of time. According to Kimora and the general public, Russell made the decision to go with the first alternative. 1998 was the year when the pair took their love to a new level of commitment by exchanging vows against one another. Shortly after that, they became parents to 2 daughters, who were an addition to their family. As a result of this union, rumors began to circulate regarding whether or not Russell's reputation as a notorious seducer would eventually be tempered by the responsibilities that come with marriage and fatherhood. The audience remained engrossed in the story of their love, which had tumultuous beginnings and unexpected turns. As a result, the journey that Russell and Kimora took became a topic of fascination and discussion. An additional dramatic turn occurred in the relationship between Kimora Lee and Russell Simmons in 2005, when Kimora revealed in an explosive interview that Russell's problematic behavior had not stopped. This was a significant event in their relationship's rocky trajectory. The existence of other women, whom she referred to as other keys, was putting a strain on their marriage, as she admitted freely. She called these other women. Public scrutiny of the Russell Simmons and Kimora Lee saga persisted, exposing the complexities and difficulties of their interpersonal and financial entanglements. I don't give a about that, and I'm not worried about character. It was some months after this revelation that they made the decision to officially end their marriage. The former couple, who had appeared to be on good terms at first, eventually found themselves embroiled in a contentious legal dispute several years later. Russell made the claim that Kimora and her new husband had illegally taken his shares in an energy drink enterprise in which he had invested. This was the central point of contention in the argument. This legal conflict added a layer of animosity to their post-marital relationship, transforming what at first appeared to be a rather peaceful separation into an acrimonious and public court struggle at the time. The story of Russell Simmons and Kimora Lee has continued to be characterized in public, which has shed light on the maneuvering intricacies and difficulties that are associated with their personal and financial entanglements. Kimora Lee, in response to the lawsuit filed by Russell Simmons, referred to his legal action as an eyewitness attempt and made a number of serious charges against him. Among these allegations was the complaint that he had subjected her to years of mental and emotional anguish, gaslighting, and ongoing harassment. Kimora's forceful words gave the impression that the ex-spouses were engaged in a long-standing argument, which provided insight into the emotional toll that their previous relationship had taken on them. Furthermore, Kimora interpreted Russell's intention to sue her as a desperate public relations ploy, which implies that he was employing the legal system as a strategic move to rescue his reputation in the midst of its apparent fall. This remark gave the impression that the legal conflict over Russell's public image was not only a question of disagreements regarding money matters, rather, it was also a component of the larger story that surrounded Russell's fame. Kimora's portrayal of the lawsuit as a desperate maneuver brought to light the linked nature of personal and public aspects in the lives of high-profile individuals. Legal disputes may become tools for managing reputations and narratives in the public eye, and Kimora's description of the lawsuit as a desperate maneuver underlined this intertwined nature. The ex-couple navigated the complexities of their previous relationship while under the scrutiny of the public and the court. The exchange of such forceful and public declarations added a layer of intensity to the continuing legal story, which was already rather intense. There have been over a dozen women who have accused Russell Simmons of sexual assault, harassment, or rape over the course of the past 6 years. Russell Simmons has found himself embroiled in a distressing array of charges related to sexual assault. Simmons has categorically refuted these serious allegations on many occasions. Simmons, who had resigned from his position as the head of Def Jam, took refuge in Bali in the midst of the growing storm. On the other hand, a vicious feud that started on social media between him and his 2 daughters hindered his attempts to distance himself from the claims. Russell vehemently defended himself in a recent interview, which was an unusual occurrence. Perhaps he was attempting to rescue his tarnished image. He stated that he had never been violent towards anyone and claimed to have been subjected to 9 different lie detector tests in order to provide evidence that he was innocent. Simmons has been through a complicated and turbulent path in both his personal and public life, and this most recent attempt to face his troubled background offers light on the road they have taken together. As the interview dives deeper into his troubled past, it becomes increasingly important to review the ups and downs of his relationship with Kimora Lee all over again. Their story, which is characterized by the presence of controversy and upheaval, provides a context for comprehending the dynamics that have played a role in shaping Simmons' personal life. Simultaneously, it is of the utmost importance to investigate the various charges that have been made against him. This will provide context for the larger context of Simmons' current situation and the difficulties he faces in navigating his public image in the middle of a sea of serious accusations. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon.